Dolphins fans, it is a big week, week 18, and the Dolphins need to win to make the playoffs and obviously get a little bit of help as well. So be sure to subscribe to the channel because we're going to have you covered during the biggest week of the season. I am Will Scott. Welcome in to Dolphins Today. On today's show, we're going to be getting into some injury updates. We're recording this right after Mike McDaniel's press conference where he informed us of this. He said that Tua Tagovailoa is not a part of the team's plans at quarterback on Sunday. Now, he did not rule Tua out. He did not definitively say that Tua Tagovailoa is not an option for Sunday, but it sure does appear that Tua will miss Sunday's game. And here's what he said in regards to Tua. I know one thing for sure. Specifically as mandated, I have not had a discussion with Tua on when he's playing. No timeline has been discussed with intent. I have no idea on when, if, why, how in regards to Tua. It's a day-to-day process. So Mike McDaniel updating us on Tua. He's still in concussion protocol. And it's not a surprise that he's not going to play on Sunday, but now we kind of have an idea that he's probably going to be out on Sunday. And Teddy Bridgewater is even more of a question for Sunday. Mike McDaniel has informed us that he suffered a dislocated pinky on Sunday against the Patriots. He, of course, left the game in the third quarter and did not return. Barry Jackson was at the press conference and tweeted this. McDaniel said Teddy Bridgewater has a pinky injury. It's dislocated. We'll see as the swelling goes down during the week where he's at. He thought he could possibly go back into the game. Wednesday, I should have more information on that. So we saw Teddy go into the medical tent and then go back kind of to the sideline. Then he went to the locker room. Then he went back on the sideline, was trying to throw the ball around a little bit. But you could see that he really had problems gripping the football. So it's really going to come down to how he's feeling, the swelling, if he's going to play on Sunday. McDaniel said this, I'm preparing for Skylar and Teddy. In an ideal world, I am hoping I have the starter isolated on Wednesday in a perfect world. So he wants to name a starter on Wednesday. He wants to have an idea on Wednesday who is going to start this football game. And if Teddy and Tua can't go, it's going to be Skylar Thompson in line to start his second career game. It will be the biggest game of his life. Here's what he's done this season. Some ups and downs for Sky. He looked okay toward the end of the game on Sunday against the Pats, but kind of struggled to get the offense going before then. In his defense, he was under duress really the entire time he was in the game. And it's surprising that he was because the offensive line was actually looking pretty good until he came in the game. 1 touchdown, 3 picks on the season for Sky. Can the Dolphins win with Skylar Thompson? Y for yes, in for no, down in the comment section. It is the pinned comment on today's video. So reply to it when you get a second. But it's looking like, and again, we'll know on Wednesday for sure, but it's looking like the Dolphins might be down to their third quarterback in a must-win game. Win or go home for the Miami Dolphins. Could they sign a quarterback? And if Teddy Bridgewater can't go, there's nobody else on the roster outside of Skylar Thompson, so they would have to sign somebody. Here is what Mike McDaniel said about that. We've had discussions about adding some depth in the short term. We can't just have one healthy QB. We'll be investigating that. Here are some free agent options for the Dolphins, and this does not include maybe a practice squad quarterback that they could poach. I'm sure that's an option, but it's possible, and most teams in a situation like this would want to bring in someone that they're familiar with. Reed Sinnett could be that guy. Reed Sinnett was on the practice squad last month. He was with the Dolphins in 2020 and then in 2021 training camp. So Reed Sinnett's out there and available. So is Josh Rosen, someone that's played for the Dolphins as well. Now, they worked out Kyle Lauletta and Jack Cohn, who have both been drafted by the XFL, but they could still sign with an NFL team. They worked them out last week, but no signing happened. So maybe they didn't want to make a signing then and there, or maybe those workouts didn't go great. Lauletta was a guy that had some promise, but just didn't really get a shot with the Giants. Jack Cohn was undrafted out of Wisconsin and Notre Dame. He finished his college career at Notre Dame. And then Ben DiNucci is one of those guys that has some NFL experience that you may be able to bring in here. So those are names to monitor. We'll get into another name here in a second, but first, I want to tell you about our friends over at Rocket Money. And we're obviously into the new year. A lot of us have New Year's resolutions. Mine is to save money, and I'm going to do that through Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. The app's going to show all your subscriptions in one place and then cancel for you whatever you don't still want. They may even find out you've been double charged for a subscription. To cancel one, all you got to do is press cancel. They will take care of the rest. And not only are they going to track your subscriptions, they're also going to track your spending, show you how much money you've spent on certain things every single year. I found out the other day that I spent over, get this, Producer Jack, I spent over $700 on Chick-fil-A last year. Yeah, I know. Rocket Money is taking care of me. I'm going to try to spend a little bit less money on food this next year. Rocket Money is going to track all that for me. RocketMoney.com/DolphinsChat. That is the link to download, and that link is available in the comments and the description of this video. This is one of my favorite apps. I use it all the time. I can promise you, you will like it as well. Barry Jackson tweeted this out about the quarterback situation. One QB in touch with Miami over the past 72 hours was told the Dolphins would like to find a veteran with at least some experience to back up Skylar Thompson on Sunday, barring a Tua protocol pleasant surprise. Bridgewater unlikely to play Sunday per NFL Network. A quarterback with some experience, a veteran. I have a name in mind. Ryan Fitzmagic. Why do you think I'm wearing the bomber jacket today, Producer Jack? Ryan Fitzmagic, you should bring this guy back. What do you have to lose? Season's on the line. He's played for this franchise. He's had success with this franchise. I get it. He's been on TV the entire season. He's retired. But I promise you, if I know anything about Fitzmagic, is that he would be ready to play. He's in shape. Give him a call. Should Miami sign Ryan Fitzpatrick for Sunday's game? S for sign, P for pass, down in the comment section. Are you really telling me that Jack Cohn or Josh Rosen might be a better option here? That they're going to give you a better chance to win the game than Fitz? Probably not. I'm typing S for sign. Make some noise here, Miami. Do something crazy here and see what he can do for you. At quarterback, he would be the backup. He might not actually play. But I think you should at least call. I'm not saying, oh, you have got to sign him. I would love it, obviously. It'd be fantastic. We'd probably go live on this channel for several hours. But you should at least give him a call. Chris Greer, pick up the phone and just say, hey, Fitz, look, you know our dilemma here at quarterback. Have you been working out? Have you been in shape? Have you kept that Lifetime Fitness membership? Have you been throwing the ball around a little bit? Just inquire. That is what I'm saying. And look at the numbers here. Yeah, he didn't play much last season for Washington, but in Miami, 2020, he was solid for the Dolphins, and I think this would be a guy that would make a lot of sense to bring in right now. Apparently, Miami wants to bring in a veteran with experience. I get it that Fitz is retired, but he's a better option than most free agent quarterbacks right now. A couple people on Twitter, Dolphins Twitter, have been saying Cam Newton. I'd be excited about that as well, but I think Fitz makes more sense because of the familiarity he has with that locker room and with the organization. Taking a look here at the updated playoff picture, the Dolphins are now on the outside looking in. You need to win on Sunday to have any chance. If you lose, it would be the biggest collapse probably in franchise history. You'd lose 6 straight games to finish the year and miss the playoffs when all you would probably have to do is win one of the last 6 to make the playoffs. But right now, the Dolphins are on the outside looking in with the Patriots in a win and in situation on Sunday in Buffalo. Here is the Dolphins' path to the playoffs. They need to beat the Jets, and they need the Patriots to lose to the Bills. Those two things happen, and the Dolphins are in the playoffs for the first time in 6 years. Now, let me kind of explain the situation because tonight's game I do believe is going to impact the Dolphins. If Buffalo loses tonight on Monday Night Football against the Bengals and Kansas City wins on Saturday against the Raiders, that's one of the 2 Saturday games, Kansas City and Vegas. Buffalo's really not going to have anything to play for against New England in a game that the Dolphins need to be rooting for the Bills, because Buffalo would be playing for the 2 seed. I mean, they wouldn't really be playing for much. They might even rest their starters if they lose tonight and Kansas City wins on Saturday. It's rather unfortunate that Kansas City game on Saturday is before Buffalo plays the Patriots on Sunday. DVE, they hate us. So the scheduling is all messed up for us here. This is going to sound crazy. You need to root for Buffalo tonight, Dolphins fans. You got to root for Buffalo. I know that's going to be hard. I know. But you should root for Buffalo, because if Buffalo loses tonight, they're not going to have anything to play for next Sunday in a must-win game for the Dolphins, really. So I would root for the Buffalo Bills. Bills Mafia, bring me a table. Somebody bring me a table. You should be rooting for the Buffalo Bills tonight. You really should be. They have got to have something to play for, or they won't show up motivated or might rest their starters next Sunday against New England, a game that the Dolphins need the Patriots to lose. Here is what the experts are saying about the Dolphins' chances. The New York Times playoff predictor. And like 4 weeks ago, the Dolphins had a 90% chance to make the playoffs. Now it's at 41%. 538, 46%, and CBS giving the Dolphins a 40% chance to make the NFL playoffs. Will the Dolphins make the playoffs? 1 for yes, 2 for no, down in the comment section. You know, it's hard for me to watch that Jets team yesterday and not think the Dolphins are going to win that game. And I know the Dolphins have been really, really bad, but they need to do whatever it takes to win on Sunday. Whoever's questionable, if they can play, they should play. I was a little bit surprised not to see Armstead out there. Obviously, the O-line held up okay, but man, if Armstead can go, if Chubb can go, if Ingold can go, all those guys that might be questionable for this game, they should play. They should do whatever it takes, and that might include bringing in a quarterback to see what happens. Even if it's a quarterback unlike Fitz, you don't have familiarity with. Do whatever it takes to win this game on Sunday. Because if you lose this game on Sunday, it would be the biggest failure of a season, arguably, in franchise history, because you're 8-3, you're a Super Bowl contender, you would lose 6 straight games. That can't happen. Get into the playoffs. Maybe you'll have Tua back for the playoffs and see what can happen if you get in as the 7th seed. Go down, subscribe to the channel. If the Dolphins sign a quarterback, we're going to get you guys the news about that. Be sure to hit that big red subscribe button and turn on your notifications, because every time we put out a video, you'll get an alert on your phone.